I'm in the middle of a paint job on my Land Cruiser Overland Build, and to put it bluntly, it's not going well.
Something here is really not right about this.
In case you hadn't noticed yet, we are not professionals, and by deep diving into the world of two-part auto paints, we're beginning to realise that we're dealing with forces beyond our comprehension. We're putting the second coat on, and it's cracking and bubbling up and taking the first coat right off, which means
there's something not right.
It's just far worse than we could have ever imagined in our worst nightmares. Having a paint disaster like this on any project is one thing, but on this build, time really is of the essence. I have a ferry booked to Europe in less than a week to begin a multi-month off-road expedition. So since we're already racing against the clock, I'm counting on everything on this project to go smoothly. Yeah, I've always been just one disaster away from not making that ferry, and I think this might be it. Time to admit defeat. This is so much less than ideal. I can't believe this. This has gone from when we thinking we could make a pretty good job of this to actually we're literally painting it on with paintbrushes. This is a pretty good lesson in how not to do this. I'm in the middle of an ambitious overland build, trying to turn my 30-year-old cruiser into the ultimate expedition vehicle in record time. I'm rebuilding this vehicle mechanically from the ground up, as well as cutting out a bunch of rust and repairing the body, and adding a whole host of off-road accessories, as I gear up to tackle the Iberian Trail, a never-before accomplished attempt to circumnavigate the Iberian Peninsula in a 4x4, while exclusively using unpaved trails and tracks. At around 7,000 miles of off-road driving, the scale of this project is staggering. A feat that will be matched quite well by my attempt to turn this vehicle around in just 3 weeks. With my deadline and departure date fast approaching, I just can't afford the time to be dealing with disasters like this paint issue. But how exactly did we get to the point where my brand new paintwork is peeling off of the vehicle? Well, let me take you back in time to the previous day. We have all of the cruiser masked up and ready to paint on the camper side. We're going to try to get a coat of paint on both of these things today. We're going to be doing the rear in the grey colour and the front in the yellow. In an ideal world, we'd be performing this paint job in a climate-controlled spray booth that's free of dust and drafts and any interference from the outside world. But as they say, beggars can't be choosers, and we're doing this in freezing cold, dark and damp British winter. As ever with these projects, it kind of turns into a mad dash at the end, and yeah, ideally we would be doing this in better conditions, but beggars and choosers at this point. As you can see, we have some kind of like rain protection over the front of the vehicle for when we wheel it in and do a paint job on it. So yeah, this is far from a hermetically sealed painting booth.
Fantastic dust control in here.
Exactly, yeah. Possibly the dustiest paint booth that I've ever seen in my life. We'll make a semi-decent job of it and get a professional to do it down the line, probably, maybe. As you can see, just fantastic amount of working space here. It's just about enough for a man to stand sideways.
Get his face against the paint.
Get his face right against the paint. Definitely no jackets and jumpers up against the paintwork. It's kind of funny, every time I work on this vehicle to this extent, I kind of think, well, it'll just do for a bit and then I'll do like a real proper professional job at some point, and then something else gets in the way and I end up doing a budget job again. Since we don't have a compressor on hand and because of the less than ideal environment, we took the decision not to use spray on this paint job. Instead, we're going for roller application with the intention of building it up in layers as necessary for good coverage. The thinking was this would make for a more straightforward application process by removing variables like aerosol contamination, and with the rollers making for a more controllable process in a very much not controlled ambient environment. As it turned out, these theories turned out to be just that, theories. In practice, as we applied the paint with the rollers, it went on weirdly. We were finding that on initial application, the paint would go on smoothly, but within around 60 seconds, some kind of chemical reaction was occurring, and the finish would go from nice and smooth to totally pockmarked and mottled, with a strange bubble-like effect. There's some kind of reaction that's happened, and we don't know why. Well, I mean, despite how awful the paint work is, the colour is quite nice.
It really is a work of art, honestly.
Silver linings. Ah, God.
Look, honestly, weirdly, it is doing this really weird bubble thing. If you stand 20 yards away, it's going to be hard to tell.
Yeah, I mean, if we just keep a distance from it, you never know.
And when it's raining, you're never going to see the finish on the bodywork.
Well, exactly, yeah. If only the expedition was going to be inside the UK rather than Spain, the driest place in Europe.
I think we should maybe leave that until the morning to get it designed.
I think so too.
And then a second cut.
Yeah.
And then maybe a third cut.
Yeah.
But by that point,
oh yeah.
bound to be winning.
It's gonna be good, lads. It's gonna be good. With the back half of the cruiser painted with the first coat, we pushed the vehicle back inside the unit so that we could dry off the front end and get it prepped for painting. As you can see, and as I was saying before, slightly less than ideal conditions for painting a car. Oh god.
That front end is wet.
Yeah, it's lightly saturated, isn't it?
Maybe the paint will stick through the wet.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we couldn't have got that much of a worse finish than what we already have. So we decided that since the back half went so well, that we're going to do the front half the same way. So yeah, we're masking that right up right now, as you can see. And we're just laughing because, you know the manufacturer's instructions on all paint? Well, I think we've contravened every single one of them. I'd say there's about 100% humidity and it's freezing cold in here.
Definite high levels of moisture.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's condensating. What could possibly go wrong? Jesus Christ, that's soaking wet.
Can't see this ever being more ready to go then.
This is the most ready I've ever seen a vehicle to be painted. Okay, it's a scratch coat. It's a scratch coat.
Scratch coat, right?
Yeah.
Just like plastering, just a scratch.
Exactly. Yeah. Really expensive scratch coat.
It's important to get a really poor key so in the future you can just peel it off and start again.
This is actually drying it. Maybe some.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
Yeah. That is the spirit, isn't it? Maybe you want another piece.
What do you guys think? How will Reese's paint job turn out? Did he use the right activator? What was wrong with the prep? And why isn't it working?
Yeah, please let us know in the comments below. Where did we mess up? Which one of the many roads did we follow that is wrong? So here we have a cup of mixed old yellow. So this is what we've been doing here. And this is the moment of truth in this very well sequestered paint booth. We're about to give it its first coat of yellow paint. Now, the last time that we tried to give anything a coat of paint, as you might remember 5 minutes ago, it reacted horrifically for some kind of reason. So we're kind of hoping it doesn't do that this time, aren't we, Benji? But we're also of the knowledge that if it does happen, at least life will go on.
We'll all be dead soon, it'll be alright.
It'll all be okay. So on that note, you want to do the honours or shall I?
I don't like the look of this paint. Oh, it's wet.
Yeah.
We would use rolling trays, but we're scared of any dirt in the ones that we actually have left.
Yeah, we have contamination.
Looks thin.
Doesn't it?
I wonder why the other one covered so well. I mean, I guess the other one was grey, but...
Yeah, that's not covering well at all, is it?
No, that's incredibly
thin. We have the first coat of yellow one and the first coat of grey, so check it out. Tell us what you think.
A little bit patchy.
A little bit patchy, lad.
But it's a first coat. The second and third will have it shining.
You know, I mean, I think on the camera it actually looks better. So what do you think, Benji? What's final thoughts?
Well, it's on.
It's on.
It's on. Needs another coat. Needs a little bit of a light sand tomorrow and then an overcoat, but
Yeah.
I think it'll be good in the end.
Yeah. I'm confident as well.
There was a very dubious point in the evening where I thought this wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
And it still doesn't kind of work, but also it does.
It still doesn't kind of work, but also it does. That could be the motto for this freaking whole project. You know, like...
I would call it an 8-foot paint job.
An 8-foot paint job?
Yeah, from 8 feet away you can't see the blemishes.
That's what an 8-foot paint job is it? I like that. Yeah, you just got to kind of like keep your distance and it looks great. You know what, I actually really do like the contrast between the yellow and the grey. I think it looks really cool. And once all the accessories are back on it and it's got a second coat, I think it's going to look smart as hell.
Yeah.
You know, despite the limited options that we had available for hygienic working area.
Alright, let's go on.
Yeah, let's go. Alright, well, thanks for sticking with us through this interesting paint job, the 8-foot paint job. I'll see you tomorrow.
Another day, another
Mechanical meltdown. This is an interesting day because we're going to see how the paint job fared overnight. Will it have set? Will it be a beautiful finish? Will it be just awful? I guess we'll find out.
Definitely needs another coat of yellow.
Oh yeah!
wow.
Definitely needs another coat, but it looks pretty good. I mean, it's nice and shiny. It's certainly better than the rattle can finish.
Wow, that back is like considerably
Looking
darker.
glossy.
It's
Yeah.
a lot darker than I thought it was going to be, actually. We got straight to sanding it down in preparation for another coat on both the back and the front of the Land Cruiser. All right, Benji. So, what's the verdict?
Seems not too bad.
Yeah,
Just sanding off the little tiny bubbles,
yeah,
and then we'll second coat,
yeah.
and then we'll sand it again, and then we'll third coat, and on the third coat we should be looking for a nice finish.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah,
One more final sand across.
yeah. I think it's looking pretty good, eh? It's like
I think that'll be.
it's gonna be.
It looks a lot better because it's obviously darker covering.
That's the
This
thing.
is definitely wanting.
Other coats. Yeah, the grey is pretty good. I mean, we've got some runs and some imperfections, obviously, given that it reacted a bit, but actually it settled down quite a bit, you know? Yeah, it does. I think the finish is way better than anything I've had on it previously, which is great. So I think it's going to look really good in the end. I love the contrast between the grey and the yellow. It looks really cool. Let's get to sanding. So here's the situation. It is that, as you've seen on previous videos, my bulkhead right here has loads of rust holes in it. To repair this properly, you really need to take the bulkhead out and do all kinds of crazy repairs. So I don't have the time. I have a ferry in less than a week right now. And so we've welded up the worst of the patches. We've body filled the rest. And I'm gonna create a seal with this stick saw, which is a Seeker brand. It's not the best solution to the problem, but it is hopefully gonna stop the water coming in. And right now, that's kind of all that counts, because it'll mean that I can get the ferry, hopefully. So yeah, watch me bodge my bulkhead repair right now. Okay. I think we'll want a wonder wipe to swedge all this in as well.
I'll just a gloved hand.
Maybe a gloved hand less. What do you think, Benji?
Go slower, cut with bigger nozzle.
Oh god.
Yeah, you're not. Look, that's not filling.
I can push it though.
Wrong,
with
wrong,
Wrong.
Wrong. Is this Instagram? Feels like real life Instagram. You're wrong. I am wrong though. Benji's making it right. Oh god, you're making it a real big nozzle.
Try now, Reese.
Okay, bro. Oh my god, a flat big nozzle. Are you sure?
It's got a little bit of an angle on it.
Wrong. Oh my
Pump
god.
it in there and
Yeah,
move
pump
slowly.
it in.
Turn more
Pump it.
vertically and make sure you're pushing it in.
Vertically?
No,
Like that?
square to the bodywork. Perpendicular.
Perpendicular. Ooh, nice. Pump it.
Yeah, get it in
Pump
there.
it. Ooh, God.
Wow, look at
Oh,
that.
it's getting bigger.
bead. Oh my god, it's getting massive.
I don't think anybody saw this coming.
At this point, I regrettably had to mute the audio on this clip. With so many references to the depth of this hole that I was piping this stuff into, coupled with Carly's American pronunciation of the word cork, meant that the innuendos here were just getting out of hand. Suffice to say that I piped this cork into the hole really deep. And while, yes, this is definitely what you would consider a bodge job, I am pretty confident that this sealant will form a watertight seal and stop the worst of the leaks that are saturating my carpets inside.
Oh.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
What is it? Oh, wonder wipes, wonder wipes. There's wonder wipes right there. It'll be fine. You just gotta stop being dramatic. God, that is deep. As you can see, the unsaid innuendos just kept on coming.
Guys, can we be serious? Something okay?
It's gonna take this whole tube. Oh, God. Okay.
What do I want to stop being dramatic?
Please. I can see that one hit. My friends and I express how much we like each other by throwing insults at one another. And today's buzzword of the day is dramatic. I don't know why. Oh, thanks, Paul. But I'll need several. Thank you. One more? Oh, God. I'm trying to go too fast now. As you can see, I've made a
I
big...
think that's the problem.
These wonder wipes don't feel as wet as usual.
Seems to be kicking up for some reason.
God. Oh, this is a nightmare, isn't it? I told you were going to see a bodge job. So, I hope you're happy. Oh, Jesus. I think these wonder wipes are not as wet as they usually are. Oh, no.
Sealed.
I mean, I would be pretty confident in its ability to repel water right now. Key thing is right now. God, I think I need more. Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of wipes. So I've got this thing all taped up. Got the incompetent crew in the back here.
You should really have masks on.
Don't hurt us, we're going as fast as
Will I get some time off tonight, boss?
No! Get to work!
You're one of those evil YouTubers that doesn't work for free.
No, I'm definitely not that for YouTube moderators' sake. I definitely pay these guys, probably. And so we continue to sand down the weird bubbly finish, quietly confident that the next coat would be the catalyst that we've been looking for to end up with a semi-professional looking paintwork finish. So aim of the game today, I think, is to get the camper and cab painted with another coat at least, probably 2 on that one. As Carly and I continued to work on preparing the finish, Ben went into the back of the workshop to mix up the paint. This is 2-part vehicle paint and needs to be mixed with a 2-to-1 ratio, meaning 2 parts of the paint and 1 part of the hardener. Ben's got this job because he's known for being the most fastidious, careful, and accurate out the 3 of us. Carly and I tend to edge towards the speed over quality end of the spectrum, whereas Ben will always take the time to make sure things are perfect, which tends to land him with the tedious tasks like this. And so, with Ben mixing up medicine in the back, Carly and I dished it out into trays and began to apply it with brushes and a roller. However, despite the confidence with which we went into this task, it didn't take long for it to become clear that something wasn't right.
Wow.
Nice texture finish.
Oh my god, that's horrific. Jesus. Oh my god, look what it's doing. It's coming up. Dude, it's like bubbling up, look.
Wait, fix that.
Oh, that's
This might be a strip off job.
lifting the last layer.
Oh my god. This is a disaster.
Wait, hold on.
It's bad. Are we just using the wrong 2K activator here?
No, dude, I mean, this is the actual stuff.
Jeez, that's actually...
This is so depressing.
That's cracking and lifting the whole thing.
Why would it do that?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just... Is this the right... I just question, is this actually the right activator for this
100%.
type of paint?
Dude, I mean, I bought it from the same manufacturer.
Something here is really not right about
Nah.
this.
Ah, dude, I can't believe this. So basically, we're putting the second coat on, and it's cracking and bubbling up and taking the first coat right off, which means
There's something not right.
we're gonna have to scrape it all back and do it all over again, but we don't know how to do it right. So I really was confident that this would be the end of our problems. It was gonna go on nice, but no. It's just far worse than we could have ever imagined in our worst nightmares.
Should we mix another batch and then paint the rest instead of painting that on and then having to redo more? Maybe we should make up
Another
a
batch.
fresh batch in a fresh cup.
Well, this will take away the variable of the...
It will. Let's do it and then we know, because we've got to sand this anyway. You know what I mean? This side is knackered regardless. So from this line, where the studs are more or less, is the other tray. And then we'll know if it's the batch. But then it begs the question, like, why is the...
Then the proportions must have been off, probably.
That's crazy that can happen though. Because Benji, you're a fastidious beast.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
he
was
is
pretty
fastidious.
accurate on that.
I know that you are that, so...
But maybe I did make a mistake with the level. This is why I always use a fresh cup, damn it. Let's presume that was incorrect ratio.
Well, let's watch this.
Yeah, if this bubbles up, then we know.
Is that bubbling? Hey, this is actually bubbling.
Right. Oh, Christ, right, so yeah, I've always been just one disaster away from not making that ferry, and I think this might be it. Time to admit defeat. Oh, this is so much less than ideal.
Reese, go on. I know you're upset, but tell them what's happened.
Basically, it's like the worst case scenario with this paint. It's bubbled up all over the surface and it's lifting the previous coat off. We don't really know why, but we're assuming that maybe this paint was designed only for a single coat. And so not only does it mean that all of the paint that I bought for hundreds of pounds is not compatible with this vehicle, it means that I'm gonna have to strip it all off somehow, sand it all back, and I don't even know do what, like paint it with something else, like buy another paint, like go to a body shop, like this is the moment where this all comes crashing down and I can't fucking go on the expedition, basically.
Well, someone's being a bit dramatic, aren't they?
Right, so the paint disaster continues. Basically, the grey is buckling up and lifting off the surface. It seemed to react slightly differently last night when we did the yellow. So we're going to try the yellow. Ben thinks that it's going to buckle up and do the same.
I think so. I think this 2K paint just wants spray paint and cannot roll it.
But I'm hopeful that the yellow at least might work, maybe. So we're doing this as a test on where the solar panel sits on the bonnet. Okay, I think now's the moment of truth. Let's see, guys. Cheers. Okay. let me
Everybody's
go.
expectations are ready for it to be shit, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But imagine if it's good.
It's such a nice color that you've chosen.
Yeah, I know.
A nice
A lovely yellow.
sunflower, perhaps?
Yeah. I think it's called melon yellow.
Melon.
I believe so. Any signs of it?
Won't be yet. Give it a minute.
You're rooting for it to buckle, aren't you? It's lovely.
It really is a really nice color.
It's a pity that it's doing this.
Oh, so yeah. You know what? It's not doing it yet.
How weird would this be if it didn't? I mean, it would suggest that...
If it didn't, then the day could still be a success.
It's not reacting.
Is there something a little bit... Well, it's too early, it's... We're 10 seconds in.
Do you think that?
Actually, 2 minutes and 36
We're 2 minutes and 36 seconds in.
Yeah, according to the...
Oh, can you imagine if Ben was wrong and I was right? Oh, I would get
Never
such
live
a hard on for that.
Never live it down. My authority would be completely gone.
I so want to have your authority gone right now. It's not happening.
We'll see. It's got to do it somewhere.
You think that, but...
I'm slightly surprised it hasn't actually done it yet. Oh, wait. Maybe. Too early, right?
We're now
I think it's
4
fine.
minutes in.
It's not reacted, guys.
I
So,
feel
but
like
that...
it might be here. I just...
Yeah, I can see that from here too, actually.
Oh, no.
And I can see a small spot here from where I'm standing.
Oh yeah, that's...
Okay, yeah, no, it's reacting. Ben was right. Great!
Respect now.
Oh, Jesus. Right, well, this has been the biggest disaster I think I've ever had with this car.
The biggest overstatement.
Interesting statement.
Yeah, considering the axle keeps exploding, like, repeatedly in random places.
Let's go shopping for one part.
Yeah, let's go get some one part.
Well, we can't get the yellow, I mean, it's just...
Reece,
well,
you
we
might-
can go have a look.
Yeah,
And
I think it...
B&Q will mix you up your own. You could literally make your own colors.
Oh, they
if you
will
take
actually.
this color swatch with you, they'll mix you one up. Cut a bit of that color.
But of what, though? Like, what kind of paint? Like, metal paint, or...
Oh, let's go find out. Let's go see what they have.
Some form of the gloss one, must believe.
Where we at? Where we at, buddy?
B&Q. Having a great time. And so into the hardware store we went. And while my confidence here was at historic lows, Carly had been right. They had got facilities to mix up paint to a colour match, and we'd had a litre tin of generic metal paint mixed up to match the colour of the Land Cruiser. We've had a 1-part yellow paint mixed up, just like a random metal one for exterior metal. Super cheap, actually has gone on really well.
They'll need a second coat, but...
Yeah, and maybe third and maybe fourth, but like, considering that it's a 1-part, it's actually gone on the best that any of them have so far.
It would seem you cannot paint 2K paint 2 times.
It would seem that way, which we had no idea about. So yeah, lesson learned there.
I think we can do a good job with the metal paint.
I think so too, lad. So I think I'm gonna have to kick back my ferry and take that. Yeah, that's all I've got to say about that right now. So, oh, dude, it's funny how this has gone from like I was gonna make this mint to just bodging literally everything on it. It's honestly funny. So, yeah, this has gone from, you know, we thinking we could make a pretty good job of this to actually we're literally painting it on with paintbrushes. So this is a pretty good lesson in how not to do this. So we've made a lot of mistakes here. You can learn from them. Don't do what we've done. What do you think then, Benji?
So yesterday we had a 6-foot paint job. Today we've got a 12-foot paint job. But might be improving.
Might be improving. I suspect not. But check it out.
From the 8-foot distance,
Yeah. You reckon?
it makes me think at 20 feet nobody's gonna know.
At 20 feet, nobody's gonna know. No, definitely not. So, yeah, learn from our mistakes, basically. You can't hand roll a 2K paint, apparently. It's a total freaking disaster. I think we're gonna go home. Yeah, we'll go home. It's getting towards freezing temperature right now. We've had a long, pretty miserable day. We're gonna go and eat something and I'm going to basically cry about my life choices and the fact that I'm definitely going to miss my ferry. So thanks for tuning in, dear viewer. That's been an interesting one, even by our standards, I think.
Yeah.
So see you next time.